Hi everybody, and this is a sort of response video to harmful opinions, more of a discussion type response video. So I'm not really going to play his video and then respond to it. It's really more to the points he raised about the whole advertisement issue that's been going on with YouTube, how they've been forced to change certain things to make it more friendly, which is why a lot of us have been getting demonetized on YouTube, because the media, and even though he will disagree on this, has been trying to push advertisers to stop advertising on YouTube because of, harmful content, bigoted content, things like that might harm their brand, even though they've been posting ads on this website for years now, and I've not had any issues from that. But anyway, let's get into this, shall we? But I think I'll start off with the things that I do agree with harmful on. Now, one of the things that I do agree with him on, and I retweeted something that he made a point about, which was Anarchy Ball complaining about the demonetization and telling people to donate to his Patreon, and that this whole thing is, well, if we're going to get demonetized, we need more people to donate to our Patreons, right, in order to continue to make a living off of it. Well, that's not going to solve the issue, because what's going to happen? Well, you're going to be full-time YouTubers who are making content that, let's not forget, they're not just impacting on our AdSense, they're impacting on our views. We're getting throttled, whether it's in our faces or in a more subtle way. We are getting throttled. I can link in the description a video from Mr. Metica about YouTube implementing throttling without telling us. Now, it's all well and good to try and get your subscriber base to try and solve this issue that has been raised as a part of the whole demonetization thing, trying to keep your job afloat. Now, that's fine. If you want them to go and donate to you en masse, go ahead. I'm not going to judge you on that. I think it's a good idea in that sense. If you can't get money off of AdSense, you get money off of Patreon, right? Or through sponsorships and other things. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think Harmful Opinions even has a problem with that. But the problem is that this isn't solving the actual issue that has caused that to begin with. That's just a symptom of the underlying problem, which is you're still getting throttled and you're still getting demonetized, and YouTube is still doing this because they are under pressure from ad companies and other companies that post ads onto YouTube, who are in turn under pressure from the media, which I think where me and Harmful Opinions differ. Asking for people to donate to your Patreon will not solve the issue. It's not even papering over the cracks, because you're going to end up losing half of your views or 1/3 of your views, like Sandre Guy has lost, and he doesn't even monetize. So it's quite clear that it's not just the people who are making money off this that are being affected. It's quite clearly what we're saying that is affecting it. So if you think getting more patrons is going to magically solve this issue, it's not. And I also agree with him that essentially trying to say to somebody, I have a very valuable opinion to make on the internet. I have a very good opinion that I ought to share to the world, and I make all these amazing videos for everybody. Well, now I'm not going to do it because, well, I'm not getting enough money. Now, I think that is egotistical, as he says, and I don't necessarily think that money should be the be-all, end-all of making videos. Personally, I think it's more, if nobody's watching, what's the point? That's my take on it. It's not necessarily the money. But on the flip side, there is the case that this is their job. This is their full-time job, not even a part-time job. They'd have to end up getting another job to replace this income that they're losing. And I do sympathise with that, and I'm sure he must also sympathise with that, even if he is trying to make out that all of them are just a bunch of greedy shills. I don't think it's necessarily a case that the money is the big issue here. I think what a lot of these people are trying to say is they're trying to stop them from making content. They're trying to essentially censor them by going directly at their income, which is a tactic that they're trying to use. I mean, apart from unsubbing people randomly, trying to throttle them that way. Another good point that he raised, and I agree with, is if you're going to make this a career, be prepared for the completely and utterly unpredictableness of this platform. It's completely random, and we don't know whether or not we're ever going to continue to be a success, or if we're going to end up being the next Smosh or Fred. These big channels who used to be massive and make loads of money are now pretty much dead, at least as far as Fred is concerned, and also the Naughty Orange, or the Annoying Orange as it was called. They're dying or are dead. That can happen. You can end up being the apex of YouTube, but then there comes a time when somebody like PewDiePie comes along, more on him in a little bit, and then completely takes most of the audience away from you, And also, maybe the audience themselves just get tired of the same old bullshit that you just keep constantly pumping out, and it just gets oversaturated. And if you're complaining about YouTube careers being flimsy, being unpredictable, you never know if you're going to continue with this audience, you're going to continue to grow and make money off of it and get the views in consistently. Well, why did you pick it in the first place? This is what it is. This is the nature of this business. It's the nature of, as you mentioned, rock music and popular music in general. The music industry is similar to YouTubing and the internet, in the sense that if you don't continue to develop a following, at least to a certain extent, you won't make your money. It's as simple as that. And another good point that he made was that we shouldn't just have people donating to channels because that's what they should do, because it's for the community. It's the good thing to do because they think that we're all in a bad financial situation because of the demonetization and the monetization changes, when really we don't want that. We don't want this kind of collectivist thinking, because you could end up donating to people that don't need the money, or who are willing to essentially use you for that money and to milk you. You never know. Do it because you like their content, not because you have to, and try not to get conned, because there will be some people who are greedy and probably would try and milk it in any way that they can. Now let's get into things that I disagree with. Firstly, I think in the video, and he doesn't really try to paint a balanced picture of the people that he's talking about. He's trying to make it out, and in many ways this is just one big virtue signal about how moral and honest that he is. And look, we don't need him to tell us that, because through his actions and countless other videos, we already know that he is honest about what he does, and he is a moral person who tries to stick to his principles. Well, we know this, Harmful. We know you are an honest, decent person. You don't need to throw it in our face in this video where you essentially just demonize most, if not all, of the YouTubers who are making videos on this as just greedy manipulators who are taking advantage of this situation. Now, like I said in the video before, I do agree that there are some that are like that. There are other people who aren't like that, who are genuinely worried about their livelihoods, and I think it's unfair to essentially demonize and put them all in the same box. I mean, you wouldn't like that, and you didn't like it when Sargon did that to you during the Candid situation, did you? So I don't like how you're doing that to them. The way that I see it is the demonetization, the changes to monetization, is nothing more than a tactic to really try and shut up people like me, Harmful, all these other YouTubers that he's talking about who make the content that we do. I also do believe that they do have actual pressure. You can see it in all these articles. I'm going to do another video on this in the future at some point, and you can see it in Dave Cullen's videos and all the other videos that people have talked about. There is a pressure from the media and from these advertisers to get YouTube to essentially give them more ad-friendly content to put adverts on, because, well, our content is apparently not ad-friendly. And it's not just because we're YouTubers. There are all these different factions that are trying to change this platform at the moment. It's what we say that is the reason why they're trying to do this. And YouTube has always had to stick up its ass when it comes to commentary channels anyway. The demonetization is just one facet of the way that they're trying to deal with us. If they can't stop us by throttling us and taking away subscribers every little bit or so, just a tiny little bit, once a day or once a month, they'll try and go at us by attacking our wallets. It's a similar tactic that Gamergate did, although Gamergate didn't do it for censorship, as we know. They did it to voice their concerns about the games media. If you want to boycott somebody, if you want to make a political statement, go after revenue. That's a great way of doing it. And what if, in an extreme case, I don't know if this is actually going to happen, I doubt it will happen, if everybody's videos are demonetized, every video we make, the algorithm just says, nope, no money because you are this kind of channel? Well, I think slowly but surely, less people will be making videos, because one, they'll have to get other jobs, which means for those of them who are full-time, they won't be able to constantly pump out content. That means the content of our videos will diminish, and that just means that less voices will be heard. Less voices will even be used. So a lot of the things that they're doing won't be called out. And that is potentially what could happen, and I don't like the fact he's trying to downplay that. Maybe not in an extreme way, but a lot of people probably will stop making videos because of this financial situation they're probably going to be put into. He also tries to downplay the role of the media. He's trying to say, look, the media don't see YouTube as competition. The media, at least old media, don't see YouTubers as any kind of threat. Why would they? Look, they've got Casey Neistat. They've giving them a contract to do some kind of internet thing. I don't know if that's going to be on YouTube or on CNN's own platform. Yeah, one YouTuber, and that means the media doesn't actually hate us, and the media doesn't see us competition. They are certainly not seeing us as taking away most of their audience now, especially in America, that their popularity is at the lowest it has ever been. You don't think that they aren't worried about that, and they don't know where all these people are going to find their news, to find their sources of information? I've seen countless articles in my research for my next video on advertisements and this demonetization issue. He mocks people for mentioning PewDiePie, what happened to him in the media. Well, if the media don't see PewDiePie as a threat, if they don't like YouTubers or new media, and by the way, another point that I agreed with him on new media is that, yeah, just because it's new doesn't mean it's trustworthy. But apart from that, why would they attack him in the way that he did? Why would they write hit pieces on people like Millennial Woes, on people like Sargon, who has had a few hit pieces in the media of his own? Why would they do this? Why would they try to say that we're all, of course, Millennial Woes is an alt-righter anyway, so excluding him, why would they like to paint us all like him, as white nationalists, as these alt-righters, as these people with harmful opinions, excuse the pun, and that for that reason alone, we should not have these platforms, we should not have these big subscriber counts, and we should not be making money off of this. So I find it hard to believe that the media aren't trying to do something about this, because we are a massive competition to them overall as a big massive group on YouTube. I mean, look at PewDiePie alone, 50 odd million people have subscribed to him. Sargon has 500,500. Lindy Page has something similar to that. Let's not forget the other massive channels who have million plus, like Philip DeFranco. These are the audiences that the TV and cable networks used to pull in on a regular basis, and are now seeing that drop slightly. He's forgetting just how big these audiences actually are. Even the smallest YouTuber at most will have a theatre-sized audience or an arena-sized audience. People don't realise how big they actually are in terms of comparison to music and film and TV. No wonder they feel threatened. So in a nutshell, I agree with him on some of them are greedy, I agree with him on some of the other points that I mentioned before, but to downplay this situation and to quite rightly point out that it's really not going to be solved by just panhandling and trying to get more money off of people. But at the end of the day, harmful. I think the downplaying of this situation is going to be at your detriment. But that's just my disagreement with you, and I've already shown why I agree with you on some other things. So until next time, people, I'll see you later.